Important week for Grandmasters, so make sure you listen carefully. The weekly featured weapon is LOTUS EATER, a void rocket sidearm. To note, double Vanguard points and double Nightfall drops are enabled this week. Okay, now the weapon's dead important, and I've got a few different roles. But what I'm saying is, whoever you are and what you want from this weapon, make sure you get that roll before the end of the week, because it's going to be a long time before we farm this again because of the bad GM Nightfall rotation on weapons. That is, get the roll before the week is done. It's dead important, unless you're going to be waiting ages. Also, what I will say is, disclaimer is, solo once or twice on whatever class that you're on. But after that, you need to farm in a fire team, because you're doing yourself out of loot by just soloing this up the entire week. And I'm not going to be. I'll be doing some fire team runs later on in the week. You know, for people who like to solo GMs, by all means solo it, but don't try and solo farm the GM. It's not worth it. You're doing yourself out of loot. And it's double Nightfall drops. And if you don't get the damn rocket sidearm god roll by the end of the week, you're screwed for a long time. So that's why I'm sort of saying, you know, solo by all means, but then after that, maybe start LFG farming or with your clan members, etc. Surges are Void, Surge, Strand, Surge, Overcharged Shotgun, Overcharged Weapons, Void Threat is on, Champions are Barrier Unstop, Fire Pit, Chaff. This week you don't want to mess around. It's a very important GM. You can't be doing your tablecloth French builds in this one. You want to drill down and get a good loadout on. Don't mess about with it. It's too long of a GM to mess around with. Your patience is too low. My patience is too low to mess around with it. Feast of Havoc, low cooldown over T-Crash. Rally Barricade, Seismic Strike, Pulse Grenade, Storm's Keep, Touch of Thunder, Fragments with Spark of Shock, Resistance, Discharge Frequency. There'll be a dim link down below like I always do for these. Tina's Mastery for Barrier Sidearm, Le Monarch because of Void Detonation, Storm Chaser, the Linear Fusion. I highly recommend a Linear Fusion for this. Okay. We're using our famous Crest of Avalupi build. Mods are on screen. There'll be a dim link. What I will say is the correct resistance for this is 1 Arc, 1 Void, 1 Concussive. That's the best resistance that you can run. I'm using some utility kickstart build, but this is the most important mod of all, Prox Ward. You must put Prox Ward on for this, because when you're crushing ghosts, you also get an overshield. And because of an artifact mod. Right, what's important for the artifact mod? Right, well, we've got Volatile Marksman, Dielectric, Disruptive Spike, because that does work with Le Monarch, because it overloads combatants. Dreadful Finisher, make sure you equip this when you're doing GMs. Maligned Harvest, I have got the boost. I don't know why it's saying I haven't. I've even got it on my engravings. That is weird. Flashover, Particle Deconstruction, and the Blast mod. There is Limit Break, but Limit Break's not worth it over these two for now until I have a think to myself on whether I want to use Limit Break in a GM. I probably do on Chaos Reach or something, but when you are using a fusion at any time, you need Particle Reconstruction to go on, absolutely. And this always needs to go on. And remember, you can only pick 2 mods in that final column, so you've got to make a decision. Elemental Supercharge is actually a very good mod as well, but you need more damage and you need more bolt charges. So these 2 have to go on. I'm sorry, Limit Break users. So yeah, that's the build and everything. Crest of Avalupi gives you health regen. That's why we've got it on. This is not niche. This is actually a meta pick now. I'm trying to drill down to people. Look, use Crest of Avalupi with the bolt charge Titan. You may as well, because it's just so good to the playback loop. And it will save you in GMs. It will. That was the loadout. Okay, so on with the run for the solo for the LOTUS EATER. We're going to start the intro section, check what Bane you've got. I actually have a Hypernova, which they were actually regenerating more frequently, so I was like, I'll just back up, just leave it. Sometimes it is just like that, because I didn't have bolt charges proc because the GM has just started, so I was off guard with that. That's fine. This is where you stand for the double barrier look. Here we go. This is the best place to stand. I've tested a whole host of different positions. Not just on this little bit, but across the whole GM entirely. We get unlucky there as our ad is body blocking our champ barrier shield break. That's fine though, because We can abuse special ammo in this. So you don't need to manage your ammo that much for special, at least. Yeah, you don't, because you're gonna get that. You're gonna get those finisher kills, right? Which I'm trying to do now. This barrier's being weird. There we go. Get our finisher kill. Special ammo pops out. Sometimes you get 2 bricks. So yeah, there we go. Fullish on ammo again. Right, payload. How to cap the payload easily. Look for skiff left or right. If the skiff is left, then go to the right hand side of the payload. Try and get some bolt charge kills by popping a barricade in advance. If needed and you do get weak, pop your super. Don't worry about it. Do not feel bad about it. If you want to pop super here, pop it. Because it's not going to do that much damage to the brig anyways, and it will ensure that you survive if you get weak. I didn't need to. I maybe got a slightly lucky rotation. Snipers are on that build and they despawn at 33% progress. And they all have Queenbreaker's bow. And they've all been buffed by the Queenbreaker buff. So the Queenbreaker buff the Guardian's got, Allies also got it. I've actually seen a Vandal shoot at me with the free burst mode of Queenbreakers. Yes, it's absolutely true. If you do have super, use it on the brig. But try and use it late. And try and use it when the ads come out so that you're sort of doing a little bit of damage to the brig and some of the ads. Because it's easy to melt the brig down, but what's a pain is if you melt down the brig and there's still ads up. Because when the brig dies, a barrier champ spawns in his place. That barrier champ will tether any Banes that might be still up, any Arknights that might be still up. This is a fantastic place to stand. Look at this, next to a lorry. What do you Americans call it? I call it a lorry. A truck, whatever you want. It's got Amazon Prime goods in there to my left. But we can abuse it, look. By just barricading right here. So on the Striker Titan ball charge build, you need to be looking for positions on where to favourably stand. This is exactly where you want to stand. But when the brig does enrage and his faceplate knocks off, try and do a bit of Storm Chaser damage. Or whatever linear that you're using. And then after 3-4 shots, run away. Okay, and fight around here. This is the range drop off for a brig. So how much range is that? Look at where his attack is. So his nuclear attack, has a range drop off. I reckon he's got 30 meter radius. So we can fight 35, 40 meters safely. Do you see? Say you didn't have heavy, or say, you wanted to play a little bit more passive on the brig. Well, there you go. You just fight from outside of the 30 meter radius that his attack can do. Still, there's a Bane up and a couple of ads, but look, we're just going to pitch up on one of these containers. Why? Because the melee enemies can't get me. Okay? So we're just concerned with ball charge damage against this barrier. That's all we want. That's exactly all we want here. I was wanting to get a finish kill, but I'm too far away for it. That's fine. We're 32 ammo anyways, and I don't need to micromanage the special to that degree. Look, we're getting plenty of special bricks. Anyways, okay, next payload progress. There will be snipers again. Your positioning needs to be exact so that you don't die to the snipers, alright? It might look easy, and it is, but if you do anything wrong at all and not stand in the right spot, you'll get sniped. So stay to the top right of the circle, okay? Again, pop super. If you feel or you will die, pop it, because you can easily get supers back. Alright, it's not a big deal on fists. You can really spam it. That's why we've got Fists of Havoc on. It's exactly why we're using it. Don't need T-Crash. There's no need for T-Crash in this at all. Zero needs T-Crash elitists. You don't need it. What do you need it on for? You don't need it. We're on a bolt charge build. All the damage comes from bolt charges. We don't really need to run like Curious of the Fallen Star or anything like that. We've got something better on than that anyways, in my opinion, which is Crest of Avalupai. It'll save you, especially if you're under-leveled, it will save you from not dying. 83% progress is the next step. Try and stand on that payload as long as you can. Same again, if you get weak, pop super. I didn't, but I'll pop super now though. Alright, here we go, pop super. Now, Fists of Havoc users. A lot of you are confused. I don't know why. Maybe I need to make a video about it. The higher you slam, the more damage you do. Does anyone know the perk High Ground? The more damage You do more damage when you're above the enemy, right? That's the weapon perk. Well, Fist of Havoc intrinsically has high ground built into it. As in, if you run and jump off an obstacle onto an ad and your Fist of Havoc as a further velocity and you've slammed from a higher height, you will do more damage with your slam. I feel as though this is just nobody knows about it, or there's only me mentioning it. I don't know why. This has been in the game since 2017. I don't know why he's been. But pleasantly pleased to tell you, that's what it is. Just make sure when you slam and you jump up after every slam. A mini jump. At least don't just slam on the floor. It's less damage. It's less damage. Right, now we're using the tank strat. This perfectly located tank here is giving me good cover. Now look at where I'm standing. This is really good. We're going to stand here for the entire time on this phase because there's barriers, unstops, all that stuff. It makes this bit way easier. We've melted the Shriekers, so we're good. They were the biggest threat, to be honest. Once we get rid of them Shriekers, we're good. So look, we can do our bolt charge business. We can do massive damage. Now it's ammo run. Don't kill the ads. It's ammo run. Pick up any heavy. Don't pick up the crate. Do not pick up that crate until after this clear has been done. Clear the rest of the ads. We can get a pulse grenade in there if we want to, but you ultimately want to come back here. There's an unstop. Now there's an RNG rotation on champs here. You can either get 3 barriers or 2 barrier, 1 unstop. I got the 2 barrier, 1 unstop. Now watch this 360-degree turn unstop. Here we go. Boom. Seismic strike. Then we get our super. Remember, jump up for them slams, Blueberry Titans. If I see you in LFG this week and you're not slamming right, you'll be getting a message off me. I'll be saying, why are you not using Fist of Havoc correctly? What's wrong with you? You know, if I make a video about it though, I don't know if I can be bothered making a video about it. It's easy for me just to tell you that it works right now. Isn't it? It's just easier. You know, that's what you got to realise with YouTube and things is there's all sorts of things that we can do. It's what you want to direct your attention on. And if you go down the wrong path on making a video that you think people are going to watch and they don't, it's a waste of time. All right? There's all sorts of roads with D2 for YouTube and Twitch, endless roads, where you end up just being like defeatist. You end up defeating yourself because you go down a path of test on some sort of random topic that you're interested in but other people aren't, and then it ends up being pointless. A pointless endeavour. If no one's going to watch the video, it's pointless. That applies to everybody. That applies to no matter who you are and what you do and what you watch. It's pointless if the video doesn't get views and there's no interest. Because remember, these videos are for you, they're not for me. If they were for me, I wouldn't bother making it. Yeah? So I think right now, today, the most important thing is getting the solo GM done, and an easy way of doing it at that because of LOTUS EATER. Because there's still people that want to solo this, but I have recommended that. You know, fair enough, solo GM, people who solo GM players, do it, but after you've done 1 or 2 runs, go and do some fire team runs and be kind to yourself. Because really, you want to speed the run up tenfold so that you can get the LOTUS done and dusted before the end of this week. I don't know why they've put LOTUS EATER on this GM. They know what they're doing. Bungie knows what they're doing. It's not a good GM, this. It really is. It's a good GM up until the Fire Boss. Fire Boss, rubbish. Bad design. Poorly designed. Poor map design. Poor boss design. That's just really is. I'll tell you exactly why when we get to the Fire Boss, but I'll also demonstrate to you how you should be doing things. Alright, this room, break it up into 3 phases. And it's a phase per wizard. I'm countering that as a... I'm classing it as every time you get a wizard, that's 1 phase done. So phase 1 is 1 wizard. That's the end of the phase. Phase 2, you'll get another wizard. And then phase 3, there's 2 wizards. So for phase 1 and 2, you are going to fight here and only here. This is your operations. You're going to get 2 unstops and a wizard per phase. So you want to deal with the left hand unstop first if you can. Although you can sort of multitask. Look, it's not a big deal. Look at where we're standing. It's good. However, it's not good for phase 3. And I'll explain that when we get to it. Right, knights in mid, you need to micromanage those knights because they can back up on phases. You can actually micromanage the adds here. Let me explain it. Like I told you, for every single phase there's a wizard. But the next phase will not start until you kill the wizard. So what does that mean, everybody? It means, look at this slam, look at that. Expert fists here. The seismic strike movement tool right over the top. That means you can micromanage the spawns, so kill all your knights, all your champs, first, leave wizard till last, because you can actually have multiple unstops in here if you're not careful. You could melt your wizard quicker than you realise with bolt charges, and then you've got 3 unstops. It's no good really, I think. You need to know the ad spawns. So that's phase 1 done. Phase 1 of this room's done. We're on phase 2. Again, you will get unstops, but they're not a problem as you just saw me deal with them. And you're going to get plenty of fists. Remember, fist stuns unstops. The slam will stun, alright? Or you could freeze them, then slam. Like with Tina's 3 shots, then shatter them with the fist. That's a good combo. Or you can just melt them with Storm Chaser. Manage your ammo for Storm Chaser in this room. You are going to get full ammo after this is done. But for final phase, you want at least 10 to 12 shots. For final phase, I'll point it out when we're on final phase. We're not on final phase yet. Look at this. We're micromanaging the unstop in front of us. Now the ads have aggroed on that position. Then you go to left. Get a barricade down. Okay, we're going to stun with Tina's this time. I'm not going to pop super, I don't think. I'm going to save super for the wizard. I don't even know if I use my super, but you should be using your super right now on the wizard. It's basically for the wizards, is the fists. That's its tool. Okay, unstock to my left is killed. We're 11 ammo on Storm Chaser. There will be some ammo in mid. That's where you're going to do your ammo run per phase. Do you get it? That's why you don't kill the wizard, people. Make it easier for yourself. Don't kill wizard until you're ready. Look, there's some ammo on the floor. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure all the knights are down because the knights are real annoying in this. I see some heavy ammo in front of me, so I'm going to pick it up. We're now on phase 3, people. This is where phase 3, you want to not fight at the back of the map. You want to fight at the entrance. The reason for this is because the game is broke now, like really broke, and ads are teleporting to your position at the back of the map. Why do I know this? Because of experience today. The ads are teleporting on top of you, and it's fine. You can still do it at the back of the map because I have. But I don't want people copying that run because they're going to die to it. A knight will teleport on top of your head and probably kill you, and I don't want to wish that on you. So, to stop the ads TPing on final phase, yes, it's specific to phase 3. It's not phase 1 or 2. It's only phase 3. So phase 3, you stand here. It's actually good standing here, though. Look at this. It's not bad. You need to keep getting your volatile detonations for health, though. You can't play too passive, because once you start to lose that rhythm, those knights are going to keep beaming that door. So you've got to keep strafing the door and keep popping barricades. And with crest, you're going to get health as well. So just look at the health that we're getting. Wizards spawn up. 2 wizards. We're going to use a Roman super for them to micromanage them. We might not kill them in the super, but we're going to use each cooldown that we get because we're going to get it again, right? So use super, blind them, do your damage. If you can maybe focus just one of the wizards and then finish them or something. I just done half damage to both, which was not ideal because both wizards are still alive. Even though they're half HP, it doesn't matter when we're at the door because they're going to beam the door, right? So yeah, they are a little annoying, but look, standing at the entrance here with my build in particular is really good because of crest. Champions have spawned in. There's an RNG chance to either get 1 unstop, 2 barriers, or 3 barriers. Okay? There's also an RNG pattern there. It doesn't matter because you're standing back here. It doesn't matter what rotation you get. What did I end up getting? I don't know. I think I've got an unstop up. Try and do some damage to these wizards as well. We've got our super back, look, so I can use that. I'm going to do it. Here we go. And then we super. Using the best out of our cooldown. I'm trying to do some damage to the knights. The arc knights beam you at the door. So I was like, you know what? I don't care if I don't kill the wizards. I want to get rid of some of these knights. And that's exactly what I did. Now, I've got a good... If this moment presents itself to you, take the barrier. Use Chill Clip Tinas to melt down that shield, then swap it to Storm Chaser. I did tell you all last week to farm Storm Chaser. Farm it up. Farm up Lotus Eater first. Once you get your Lotus Eater roll, you want to make sure you got Storm Chaser this season. It's just that good. Alright? The aggressive burst or the adaptive burst linears are better than precision frames. I know people use the line in the sand. Line in the sand's nowhere near as good. I'm sorry, line in the sand users. Because precision frames are just not as good with particle reconstruction. Do you get it? Storm Chaser does more damage because each burst single... So you can stack 3 particle reconstruction shots in one shot. See? Look at the damage it's doing there. See how much damage? It's doing like exotic damage. It's doing as much damage as like an exotic. It's incredible, Storm Chaser. You can get away and use line in the sand. And it might be a little bit better at the final boss, a little bit actually, line in the sand, or a precision frame, because they have more range. But overall, you still just want to use the Storm Chaser. Now, I'm going to speed up the footage because this run can be monotonous, and I'm just for editing purposes speeding up. All you want to do is bolt charge damage. When he pops super, I'm going to use my super to counter him. I've got a Hypernova. If a Hypernova ever procs when you're in super, that's fine. You will not die. So yeah, look, we're just doing damage. If he puts his shield up, use Tina's, because you'll still get bolt charge stacks doing damage to him when you're behind a barricade. The boss will hide. He's very annoying, this boss. What's his name? Ulnaf Light Cleanser. He's light something. Alright, he's something. He annoys me. That's what he does. You're going to get your super back, so you can spam. If you need to do another super, you could, because you're going to get it back, but you will not get your ammo back. So I don't think the banner gives you ammo back. It's just super, right? So boss has been sent. We'll now resume normal viewing footage. And what we want to do is we're going to wait on this barricade. We're going to wait on this pulse nade. We're just about to get it because I want a double pulse. That's what I want to do here. Right, we'll activate that. So we've got 2 pulses going here. Then we're going to use a super here. Get our slams. Remember, always jump up in the air like that. See the jumps I'm doing? Never just slam like on the floor, because your damage is less. Now that damage we did there wasn't that much. No, it wasn't. I agree, but especially against unstops, the tip about jumping and slamming is very important, because it could be the difference between killing that unstop and not killing them when you're super and a unstoppable champ. This is specific to solo, right? Like, whereas in a fire team, you're probably more likely to run T-Crash, and I would agree with you there. But when you're solo, the benefits of Fist of Havoc is that you get it 3 times more often, and you're getting super armor, and it can save runs. That power of that in itself is really strong, really powerful. Alright, this is why this run in particular took a while, is because the boss just is not cooperating. I hate this boss. I think it's... Look, I don't want to say I hate anything in the game, because I think that's a little harsh, me saying hate. But what I'm saying is, no, it's poor game design. Well, why? Rather than me just saying it's poor game design, I'll give you the reason why it's poor game design, alright? At brief moments throughout this GM, I was standing doing nothing, waiting for the boss. This is not very interactive. Now, this boss is basically just a Lucent Guardian. He's a Sentinel. There's nothing special about him. He's just that he's a boss like Guardian. That's it. And I don't like that. I don't like Guardians being bosses. I don't like Tormentors being bosses. I don't like Subjugators being bosses. I only like unique bosses. I'm very picky on boss design because it needs to be right. A lot of things I'll forgive Bungie with, but boss design, no, it needs to be right. And if it's replicated or copied, alright, why is it replicated and copied from another smaller enemy? I would have preferred this boss fight to be some new boss, something else other than they could have put a Light Guardian as well as a VIP target. Yeah, that's fine, that works. But having a Sentinel as a boss, look at what he's doing now. Let's count the seconds. 21:51. Let's see how idle he was. And now I've got a Hypern over there. I'm going to set him off. I was worried I was going to be within the vicinity, but I'm not, am I? I should kill him in time. But yeah, 21:51 was, so what's it now? It's been 20 seconds of idleness. Let's call this out because it needs to be. Right, that's 20 seconds. He's idle. How much longer does he want to be idle? He can be idle, that's fine, but not for extended periods of time like this. This is no good. Look, 30 seconds. We are now 30 seconds of the boss being idle. Also, micromanage wizards. I'll talk about add waves after this little bit. I want to see how long this boss has been idle for. But yeah, do kill a wizard when you see him because they're not infinite. Acolytes are infinite, wizards are not. Look at this. We are now a full 60 seconds of him being idle. So now I'm like, oh, maybe if I push up, it'll have him round that corner. Nope. Now he moves. Boom. That's a minute. It's 60 seconds of idleness. This is no good. Just ruins the run. Like, this run's been fantastic up until the final boss, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, you know, the boss just wants to hide. Now, I know why he does it, and I know why you're going to say why he does it. It's because I'm standing back here. But Bungie has given us this place to stand. Okay? Can't punish the player for environmental design. Never punish a player for that. Bungie has had it this way. They've realised they've made the map CQC. So what they've done is like, oh, we'll give players a fighting chance by giving them a platform at the back of the map, which does work, but it doesn't work for the boss because he just sits idle, which is probably an unintended thing. It's probably because he's a damn Sentinel shield. That's what they do. They go behind cover and sit idle. I know this from Lightblade. Now, we've got an unstop here. So we need to play carefully here. This is what Storm Chaser is so good for getting the stun from range. If you pop a barricade, don't go anywhere near it when the boss does his arca damage, because that will kill you because of splash damage. When you're behind a barricade, splash damage is increased against this boss, as in you'll die quicker. So do not go behind your barricade when that boss is beaming you. Always jump up like this. Golden rule of the run. Jump up, jump up, jump up. Always. We kill our unstop because of how good Storm Chaser is, even though we were missing some crits and stuff. And we were having to micromanage both the unstop and the aspect of Savathûn. Right, let's talk about AI now. This is important and critical to the run. You need to make sure that you're keeping an eye on the aspect of Savathûn. I'm going to use a super here because of wizards. Wizards are not infinite. Wizards will back up on you. If you're on phase 2 or phase 3 and you haven't killed a damn wizard, there's going to be loads of wizards on the map and they're going to ruin your run. So, anytime you can super a wizard, do it, because they are linked to HP. There are infinite adds here, yes, but wizards, no. I think it's 2 or 3 wizards you get per phase of damage. I think it's like 9 wizards you get. I haven't counted them. I'm trying to sort of visualize how many wizards you're getting. All right, we're amplified. Look at this. Now we need to go for relic. Be amplified. If you're amplified when you pick up the relic, you will not get hit as much. To get amplified is very simple. Just pop a barricade and wait for times 10 stacks. You will get amplified for free. You then run and get the relic. Also to note, when you're going for the relic, pay attention to acolytes. They can kill you. Now, I've got Void Resist on specifically for these acolytes. They can wreck you really quick if they all focus you. Obviously, the boss can as well. The aspect of Savathûn can as well. But that's where you need to pay attention. So look at his AI. Where is he done? What has he done now? He's backed up. When he gets to below a third HP, or if you've done excessive damage to him, he pushes back. Although he's starting to push forward now. Oh no, he's going back. But that first pickup of relic is the hardest. The second relic and the third relic are easier because the aspect of Savathûn starts to back up. Look, he will do Nova Warp, then he'll do his Arc Chaos Reach thing, right, or his Lightblade attack, and so on and so forth. Now, also, when you pick up your relic, this is hard. This is a console thing. This now. as you're picking up the relic, turn your camera as you pick up the relic, multitask it. Because even that, as simple as just not turning your camera as you pick up the relic will cause a death. I know this from past experiences. This is more of a console thing. On PC, it's very easy for you to do that. On console, it's harder, but not for me. But I'm on about regular console players. It's harder to pick up the relic because they can't turn the camera quick enough to pick up the relic to exit strategy, right? Now I can. Why can I do that? Well, because I've got paddle controllers. This is one... well, actually, paddle controllers helps out massively in solo gameplay for Destiny 2. It always has done. That's why I got a paddle controller. I'm using the DualSense Edge. I probably believe it's the best paddle controller that I've ever used. I have used like Scuff paddle controllers in the past on PS4 days. Aim controllers. I've used all these different paddle controllers, and the best one so far has been the PS5 one. I did have some thumbstick drift issues at Christmas, but I sorted that out. Which that you're always going to get drift issues. You'll always get stick drift until Sony makes, or even Xbox as well, makes a proper good controller. You're always going to get stick drift. But in terms of paddles, it really helps because you can run and jump, turn your camera, and not take your thumb off your camera stick. This might sound like I'm talking rubbish, but it's not. Look at the movement that I'm doing. Whereas I'm shoulder charging and turning my camera and picking up the relic at the same time to ensure no death. Because if there's anything that's the hardest thing about PSYOPs, it's the relics. And it's not that it's... yeah, it is the hardest, and it's annoying. It really is annoying. Look at that. Shoulder charge, turn camera, pick up relic. It makes it much more consistent. Especially if you're amplified as well, you're going to get that speed booster and the ads won't track you. So that's my tip for picking up relics, because I can foresee a lot of people complaining saying, I get to the boss and I died to the relic. That's what's going to happen to people, and I know it will. That's your death trigger. I know where the death triggers are, and that is a death. Picking up the stupid relic. And that's to do with the map and the boss design. The map environment is no good. Now we're on phase 2. The boss goes to right hand side. He seems to want to fight right hand side on phase 2 every time. Whereas on phase 1 and phase 3 he fights in mid or wherever you are. You can sometimes do some ball charge damage to him on the right hand side like that. Look, you can see. Don't be frightened to use Storm Chaser damage on him. Even though you're this far back, it'll do massive damage. You want to save a little bit of Storm Chaser damage for the final Ogre. There's not an unstop, there's an Ogre, and I recommend you have a few shots for him. But other than that, you can use your Storm Chaser on him by all means when you get a chance, and you'll see me do that. Because of Unstoppable Fusion, it sometimes stops the boss putting up his barrier shield up. Do you get it? Okay, that means you can get more burst damage on him while he's being aggroed. Because the aggro and de-aggro on this boss is... look at it, he's de-aggroed again. Constantly de-aggroing. What I will say is on phase 2 though, you can stand here. Phase 2, you can stand here on phase 1 and 3 as well. But there is a chance of death if you do. The chance of death is the one shot off the Guardian. He will throw his Void Nade, and if his Suppressor Grenade does do a critical hit on you, you will be KO'd. So just bear that in mind. That's on phase 1 I'm on about, not phase 2. Phase 2 he doesn't come here, look. So look, we can start to do a lot more damage to him. So phase 2's a bit more, interactive. I can interact with the boss a little bit better. Notice there's no ads up, look. No wizards, nothing. Remember, like I told you, there is infinite acolytes here, and they will eventually spawn up, but wizards will not. They will only spawn once you've done a sizable amount of damage to the boss. I think it's 5 or 10%, maybe a little bit more than that. Like I said to you before, I think it's 3 wizards per phase, so that would work out at 9 wizards total for this. There might be maybe more than 9 wizards, but it's around about that. Alright, we've got a shielded wizard. I was worried about that a little bit, so I was like, you know what? We need to focus that damn wizard because I don't want shielded enemies. Right, so we made sure that we would prioritize. Always prioritize wizards. They can kill you. They definitely can. So just be careful of that. So look how we're fighting from here. It's good. You can fight from here. You can fight from here on phase 1 by all means. Just if the Guardian does throw a suppressor grenade, you need to move. You cannot, even if you just popped a fresh barricade, who cares? You need to move. Simple as that. Boss is shielded by a moth. Interesting. You can see. Okay, I'm going to use super. I went for an ammo run, and I'm going to use super. There was one wizard up. I didn't know. The wizard was a shielded one. Be careful of boss. He can knock you off map. Look at where the map. Look at that. See that? See those gaps in the map? You can be knocked off by him. You could think, oh, I'm doing decent. I'm in my super, and all of a sudden he knocks you off map. So there is a danger of that, right? So yeah, we can just keep doing damage from here. So yeah, like I said, the whole boss fight for this is a mess because the relics don't do enough damage. So here's the problem with the relics. The relics have the same rules as your weapons. So because you're underleveled in GMs, like we always are, all right? That's just that's just how GMs are. But your aspect is the relic that you pick up is also underleveled. Therefore, you're gonna have to pick up 5, 6, 7 relics to kill each aspect. It's annoying. So I don't mind killing these aspects, but it takes so long to kill them with the stupid relic. All right. You have got to master the relic with the teleporting and all that stuff. You can teleport with the relic, which is really cool. I like that aspect of it. But just the amount of relics you've got to pick up. And then there's 2 aspects on this next phase. So it's a combination of relics take far too long to kill a boss even on GM mode. The boss becomes idle and he pops his super behind cover and that's not doing anything. What is he doing now? Explain it to me, anybody in chat down below. What is he doing? Why is he popping a super behind cover? Again, he's limited. He's limited because he's just a Lucent Guardian with boss health. That is it. There's nothing special about him. So he has the same limitations as what any other Lucent Guardian would have. Look, what's he doing? What's he doing? He can push me. He doesn't want to. It's so annoying. It really is. And I just wish that they picked a different GM. I think even Lake of Shadows would have been better than this. Yeah, I know Lake of Shadows is like a long GM as well, kind of, but it's more interactive. Look at that. See what I'm on about do not stand behind your barricade. When the boss zooms you, the left one specifically, do not stand behind your barricade. That will get you killed. I nearly did die. I think arc resist and concussive dampness saved my life there with that. So the ogre in mid, this is who I was on about. You need to make sure you kill him. I've got plenty of heavy. He's just misbehaving. Every single ad in this run just misbehaved. Well, anyways, we got him. Right, now it's really... Well, yeah, it's easy. It's easy now. Just make sure there's no wizards up. I'm going to pop a super for that, actually. I think I ended up popping a super. And now you've got a relic left and right. I'm going to use a super here because that wizard is going to be annoying right now when we're picking up relics. Look, there was a Zealous Bane there. I don't want any interference when we're picking up relics. We're 36 minutes in. I don't fancy wiping, do you? No. So I'm going to make sure that I kill any rogue wizards. I'll speed up the footage for editing purposes. So here's the rules, alright? Same as mid, but it's easier. When picking up the left relic, try and get amplified by just popping in. I haven't even got amplified here, but you should do amplified, by the way. I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing there. But you pick up the relic, you teleport twice, and then you should have 16 ammo with your relic left, and then you just spam the ammo. Okay, what you should be doing, like I say, is pop a barricade. There we go. I got amplified in this case. Amplified is going to make sure that you don't die when picking up that relic. It just makes it more reliable. Now pay attention to the right hand aspect. He's beaming that zone. I was not liking that. Look at that. He's stopped now, but he was. So I was paying attention to that. Because if he beams me as I'm picking up that relic, that's a death. But amplified is really, really helping us stay alive here. Alright, so we'll just keep using our relics. Like I told you, it takes too long. Or what they could do is just make the relics have more ammo. Double them up. They won't, though. Anything I say, they won't. It's a fruitless endeavour, isn't it, me complaining? In actual fact, you're not going to like that I'm complaining about the relics, so maybe I should stop complaining about it. But This is how you pick up left relic and kill left aspect. Right side will not beam you. He's not aggroed on you at all. So your only goal is left. Make sure you teleport twice like that. Make sure you know how to use this relic properly before attempting this GM. Make sure you know how to do it. It's very critical that you know that. Right, now once left aspect is done, it's chill, it's relaxed. You don't need to worry too much. I would recommend you still teleport back here. It's going to be less ammo per relic, and you're going to need to pick up more relics, but it'll mean that you're not getting naded by ads. And not getting naded by ads in this run's nice. It's a nice thing to not have that happen to you. So we're just going to rinse and repeat. Sometimes the aspect does not cooperate and he goes behind cover. Why, I don't know. Also, his AI path changes halfway. Look, he's starting to go right hand side now and he will start to beam me. There we go, look. See that AI path trick where he went from really de-aggroed to realising, oh, there's no other aspect up, so now he's going to play more aggressive. The aspect I'm on about, not me. See, so now he's starting to beam you. Remember the golden rule, jump up. Do not have a barricade up. You will die to that aspect whilst your barricade is. If you're standing behind that barricade, you'll get melted because of area damage. See, what you need to know about is certain area of effect damages in this game do more damage if you're standing next to a wall. Anybody who done Glassware Day 1 will tell you that with Rivens. If you stand next to a wall where a Riven is, Riven will kill you quicker more than usual because you're standing next to a wall, so it's doing more damage on you. And the barricade in this case is like a wall, because if the arc stuff hits the barricade, it does increase damage to you and you die quicker. Whereas if you don't have a barricade up or you just jump in the air, don't get hit. By the way, do not get hit by the boss. I've got to mention, one shield will kill you in this, no matter what your level, I think. You might be able to survive it if you're 2040, but nobody's 2040. Well, there is. There'll be people out there 2040, but not many. I'm just saying, look, you need to crouch on this plate. You've been seeing me. I either do that or hide behind your barricade, but don't rely on that barricade fully, because if the Sentinel shield breaks the barrier as you're behind it, the second one will follow up and kill you. Get it? So the goal is to crouch. Make sure you crouch on the plate. It's very important that you do that. So we're cleaning up the rest of the ads. We're waiting on the boss. The run's done. The run's done. Where's he at? He does not want me to get Lotus here. He's definitely under his breath saying, I hope he doesn't get a Lotus here to God roll, because I want him to come back in here so that I can be passive again for the next run. And to that I say, no, I'm doing fire team runs all naff. I can't be bothered with you. I can't be bothered with your passive gameplay. Look at it. Like, there is better positions to stand. We can maybe explore with that as the week goes on with the GM. I'm not doing many runs on this though, I'll be honest. Just because Psyops is just a slog. It really is just a slog. I just wish it was just some other GM. I would honestly prefer anything else other than this. I would have even preferred Mars, yeah? Mars GM's a better GM than this, actually. Because it's more interactive. It's probably harder than this. Mars GM, in that sense, it is. But it's more interactive, and that's what I want, really. I want to have a little bit of fun and be pressured a little bit on a run. And in this run, you can be pressured, but when you're doing boss DPS, it's just, look. It's like, will he peak? There's an RNG thing. Will he peak? How long does it take for him to peak? And you're just sitting and waiting. And I hate it. It really does grind my gears. It really does. Right, we've got a super. We're going to finish him off because I can't bother waiting anymore for him. Remember, height slam. You'll do more damage. Boom, more damage. See the HP bar? There's proof there. I don't need to make a Fist of Havoc video. It was there for you, look. The higher the slam, the more damage. We do super, by the way, so that we get a Ghost Crush to confirm the GM. That's why the super's on. It confirms the kill on him. That was a solo GM for Lotus EATER. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.